This is Setvidya Mandir English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce, your HSC online audio video lecture series. And I am Veena Raikar, your OC teacher, and I have started with chapter 4 Business Services. This is the 5th video I am making on this chapter, and today's topic is Principles of Insurance. Insurance. What you mean by insurance is it is a means of protection from financial loss. It is a form of risk management primarily used to hedge against the risk of a contingent or uncertain loss. Insurance is a contract between the insurer and the insured, whereby the insurer agrees to compensate the insured against loss. The insured has to pay a fixed sum of money on timely basis to the insurer. Okay students, what do you mean by insurance is, if I am going into a contract with the insurance company, okay, the insurance company gives me a protection from financial loss, okay, and I have to pay a fixed sum of money on timely basis to the insurer. The example is your LIC, that is Life Insurance Corporation of India, and the New India Assurance Company Limited. Now, what are the terms used in insurance? The first term used is insured. The person who is protected against certain losses. Insured is known as assured in case of life insurance contract. He is the policy holder. Second is insurer. The firm or person who agrees to compensate the insured against the loss for a consideration. Insurer is known as assurer in case of life insurance contract, because he is bound to get the sum assured on the maturity of the policy, or the nominee will get the sum assured on the death of the policy holder. Third is the premium, the consideration for which the insurer agrees to insure the insured. It is paid by the insured to the insurer. Let me explain you this further. That is the transactions between the insured and the insurer. The person to whom a compensation is to be paid, okay, he is called as the insured. The company that agrees to pay the compensation on the happening of a specific event against the payment of regular premium is called the insurer. Now what happens is, the statement of contract between the insured and the insurer is called as the policy. It contains the terms and conditions of the insurance contract, whereas the insured is going to pay the insurer premium, the fixed amount to be paid by the insurer to the insured. Terms in insurance. Policy, the statement of contract between the insured and the insurer. It contains the terms and conditions of the insurance contract. It is demand made by the insured to the insurer to compensate for loss occurred due to mishap. It is a written request by the insured to the insurance company to issue an insurance policy. Subject matter, it refers to the subject or entity, for example life, property, cargo or ship etc., which is insured, against which the policy is taken. You have 7 principles of insurance. The first principle is principle of utmost good faith. Then you have principles of insurable interest, principle of indemnity, principle of contribution, principle of subrogation, principle of loss minimization, and principle of cause proxima. These are the 7 principles of insurance. Let us study the first one. Principles of insurance. The first principle of utmost good faith. All types of insurance contracts require utmost good faith towards each other. The insurer and the insured must also disclose all material facts clearly, correctly, and completely. If the insurer finds that certain material facts related to the contract has not been disclosed, the insurer may void the contract. This principle is more important for life insurance. The insurer must provide relevant information regarding terms and conditions. Similarly, the one who is insured must provide complete and clear information about the subject matter. Here I am explaining you a example. It's about Mr. Shantanu. He has not provided information regarding his heart surgery at the time of taking a policy. Okay. So after his death, the insurance company comes to know about this heart surgery. And as Mr. Shantanu has not provided correct and complete information, insurance company can refuse to give compensation to his family members. Okay students, I am repeating again what is the principle of utmost good faith. First, the insured must provide complete, clear and correct information of the subject matter. Similarly, the insurer must provide relevant information regarding terms and conditions of the contract. Okay, so in this example you see Shantanu has not provided information regarding his heart surgery. So after his death, the insurance company comes to know about this fact and refuses to pay compensation to his family members. So it is a big loss for his family members. The second is principle of insurable interest. The insured must have insurable interest in the subject matter of insurance. Insurable interest is applicable to all insurance contracts. Insured is said to have insurable interest in subject matter when the existence of that subject matter puts the insured in financial benefits. For example, a person has insurable interest in his own life and property. A businessman has insurable interest in the goods he deals and the property of business. In life insurance, the insurable interest refers to life insured. That is, a person has insurable interest in his own life and his property. A wife has insurable interest in the life of her husband. A creditor has insurable interest in the life of his debtors to the extent of loan given. The subject matter of insurance must be a physical object and must be subject to risk. The insurable interest must exist at the time of taking a life insurance policy. In fire and marine insurance, the insurable interest must be present at the time of taking policy and at the time of occurrence of loss. Okay, so in fire and marine insurance, if there is any incidents occurred, the policy should be there. Similarly, the time of occurrence, if the policy lapses, they won't get the compensation. So whenever the event occurs, the policy also should be present. The third one is principle of indemnity. Indemnity means a guarantee or assurance to put the insured in same financial position in which he was immediately prior to the happening of uncertain events. This principle is applicable to fire, marine and general insurance. It is not applicable to life insurance. In case of death of the insured, the actual sum assured is paid to the nominee of the insured. The insurer agrees to compensate the insured for the actual loss suffered. The amount of actual compensation is limited to the amount assured or the loss, whichever is less. For example, if property is insured for 2 lakhs and if the loss by fire is 1 lakh, then the insured can claim compensation for 1 lakh only. Why? Because according to the principle of indemnity, the amount of actual compensation is limited to the amount assured or the loss, whichever is less. And under this principle, the assurer agrees to compensate the assured for the actual loss suffered. Okay, so in this example, the actual loss suffered is 1 lakh. The property is of course insured for 2 lakhs, but the actual loss is 1 lakh. So the insured can claim compensation for rupees 1 lakh only. The fourth one is principle of subrogation. This principle is applicable to all contracts. According to this principle, after the insured is compensated for the loss due to damage of the property insured, the right of ownership of such property passes to the insurer. It is applicable only when the damaged property has any value after the event causes the damage. For example, Mr. A owns a two-wheeler. The vehicle is stolen and Mr. A files a complaint in local police station. Upon receiving that complaint, the insurance company compensates fully Mr. A for the loss of the vehicle. Understood what is this example? Mr. A owns a two-vehicle. The vehicle is stolen. Mr. A files a complaint in police station. Okay. So on receiving the report, what happens is the insurance company compensates fully. That is, fully means the entire amount of the vehicle to Mr. A. After that, what happens is the stolen vehicle was recovered by the police. Now in this situation, already the insurance company has paid Mr. A for the loss. So the owner does not have any claim over the vehicle which has been recovered by police. Why? Because he has already transferred the ownership rights to the vehicle to the insurer. The insurer gets every right to sell or to scrap the said vehicle. The fifth one, principle of contribution. This principle is applicable to all contracts of indemnity where the insured has taken on, that is, more than one policy for the same risk. Under this principle, the insured can claim the compensation only to the extent of actual loss either from one insurer or all the insurers. That is, the property is one, but the insurers are different, are many. That is called as principle of contribution. If one insurer pays full compensation, then the insurer can claim proportionate amount from other insurers from whom insured has taken policy. For example, Misaili insures a property of ₹2,50,000 with two insurers, that is T Insurance Company and R Insurance Company. So from T Insurance Company, the insurance is of 1 lakh, and from R Insurance Company, it is 1,50,000. So T Insurance Company has the 2/5 of the property value and R Insurance Company has 3/5 of the property value. Now if Saili's property is destroyed and the loss is worth 1,20,000, then both insurance company will contribute towards the actual loss, 1,20,000. Thus company T will pay 48,000, that is 2/5 of the loss, and company R will pay 72,000, that is 3/5 of the loss. I'll explain you the example again. Saili insures a property 2,50,000 with two insurers, T and R. Okay, T Insurance Company is for 2/5 of the property value. R Insurance Company is of 3/5 of the property value. So when the property gets destroyed, the loss is 1,20,000. So now the T company will pay 48,000 and R company will pay 72,000. that is 2:3 ratio. Sixth one, principle of mitigation of loss. Insured must always try to minimize the loss of the property in case of uncertain events. The insured must take all possible measures and necessary steps to control and reduce losses. It is the responsibility of the insured to protect the property and avoid loss. Now, for example, a house of Mr. Jayant is on fire due to electric short circuit. Okay, in this case, Mr. Jayant cannot remain passive but must try his best to save his house from fire. Mr. Jayant must be active and cannot watch his house burn because house is insured. 7. Principle of cause proxima. Principle of cause proxima means when a loss is caused by more than one cause, then proximate cause of loss should be taken into consideration to decide the liability of the insurer. The property is insured against some causes and not against all causes. In such a case, the proximate cause of loss will be found. If the proximate cause is one which is insured against, the insurance company is bound to pay compensation. For example, a house was insured against risk of theft. There was a theft in the house and before leaving, the house was set on fire. Now there are two causes of loss, theft and fire. Nearest cause of loss was fire. As the house was insured against theft and not by fire, the insured will get compensation from insurance company for loss of fire, but he will get compensation from the property lost by theft. Did you get it, students? I am giving you the example again. A house is insured against theft. Okay. Now there was a theft in the house, but the thieves set the house on fire. Okay. So now you have two laws. One is theft and one is fire. But the house was insured by theft. Okay. It was insured against theft and not by fire. So what will happen is the insurance company will give compensation for loss by fire. Will not give compensation for loss by fire, but it will get compensation for the property lost by theft. Okay, I hope you have understood this. All the 7 principles of insurance. I am repeating all the 7 principles. Principles of utmost good faith, principle of insurable interest, principle of indemnity, principle of contribution, principle of subrogation, principle of loss minimization, and principle of cause proxima. Okay, these are the 7 principles of insurance. Thank you, students.